Andy deserves that more. So, Joe Kubert is the co-creator of such characters as Sergeant Rock and Ragman. He's also well known for his career-defining runs on comics like Hawkman. And yes. And some of you might not even know this, but he actually co-created the 3D comic genre in the 1950s. His graphic novels include Facts from Sarajevo and the more recent Dong Shuai, which is a story about Vietnam in 1965. He's carrying on doing the kind of work that Will Eisner did in the 1940s with PM Magazine, a magazine distributed to the armed forces around the world, showing how you can maintain equipment, tanks, things like that. And he's been doing that with a crew from the Kubert School for about 10 years now. Another one of his projects is completing a 6-book anthology from DC called Joe Kubert Presents, and that also features some sea stories by Sam Glanzman, another veteran cartoonist and illustrator with also an amazing career. And just before the panel, a few minutes ago, Joe was telling me that Joe Kubert Presents might be best summarized as being what he thinks a comic book should look like in terms of being legible and readable and the sort of storytelling that he wants to best present. The first one should be out early next year, and many third-year students from the Kubert School and graduates and recent graduates use working at Telegraphics, which puts out PM Magazine, as a transition place between the school and their first real job in the outside world. So let's give it up once again for folks, if you can believe that is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Now, on Joe's immediate right, we've got Mr. Adam Kubert. Perhaps you've heard of some of his credits: Wolverine, X-Men, Superman, Hulk, and covers for Batman. He's been under exclusive contract for Marvel for almost 15 years, and right now he's working on Astonishing Spider-Man, Astonishing Spider-Man Wolverine for Marvel with writer Jason Aaron. He teaches at the Kubert School alongside Joe Kubert and alongside his very talented brother, Andy Kubert, who I'm sure a lot of you are also very familiar with. And to my left, we've got Mr. Gabe Bridwell, who's a graduate and a teacher at the Kubert School. Please show us. As for myself, my name is Ari Kaplan. I'll be moderating and kicking back and watching these geniuses at work. I am a writer for DC Comics and Mad Magazine and Bongo and RG Comics, and I'm the writer of the, And I'm the author of the book From Krakow to Krypton, Jews and Comic Books, for which I had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Joe Kubert about his life and work. Thank you very much for being here and with us. Okay, so I believe to start things off, Adam, is going to show us a slideshow.
Okay, I'll start this program out just with a brief overview on the school itself. I put some slides together. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yep.
All right, this is the front of the building. We just had, as a matter of fact, the school completely redone in and out. We lopped off 2/3 of the building, so the building is actually back to its original condition when it was added on to in 90, well, the building's 95 years old. But when was the addition? 41, something like that? No, the addition, early 30s. So this is a picture of our school. This is actually where the school used to be. The students call this the mansion. This is where we house some of the students that come in from out of town. This is the art store. There's a full-service art store in the building for students, and it's also for the general public. Oh, there's Andy. You see him right in the middle. He's talking up a storm over there. This is our waiting area. We have framed works from all the current and previous teachers. This is our library. This is Gabe, handsome Gabe over there. He's teaching our computer class, 10th of students. This is my brother Andy holding a critique in narrative art. Andy teaches, Ari had mentioned, Andy teaches narrative art in the second year. I teach narrative art in the first year, and my dad teaches narrative art in the third year, among the 30 other teachers that currently teach at the school. My dad teaching. This is one of the animation students. We no longer have a program that's strictly animation, but we do, as part of the first year curriculum, we do have animation as part of the study. The school is actually 3 years. It's a 3-year program where at the end of it you receive a certificate of completion. It's fully accredited, and we just went through every 5 years. This is kind of interesting. Every 5 years, the accreditation committee comes to the school and goes through. They spend like 3 days there going through everything, interviewing students, interviewing teachers, interviewing us, going through all our books, going through everything. They actually accredit about 400 schools throughout the country. They said to us, our school had the best marks as far as student surveys, and I'm going through this. I'm getting excited here. Student surveys, like they would come through and survey all the students, had the best marks out of any school that they accredit. Right? Didn't they say that? I'm making it up. I swear, I am not here selling the school, but it's the only school of its kind in the world where we concentrate on narrative art, on comic books, on storytelling. A lot of our graduates go into other areas of the commercial art field, but we're the only school that really that hones and teaches this craft in a concentrated way. One of the classrooms, students, what we want the students to do in the classroom is to make it as comfortable for them as possible, as creative for them as possible. I know in my own studio I have pictures all over the place of things that influence me, pictures that I like, things that I look at, things that inspire me, artists that I like. We ask the students, make this your home for the next 9 months. So you see, there's pictures all up on the wall, and this is we try to. We want them to realize that this is really a very professional way to work. Ask your fellow studio mates. It's not really a classroom. It's more like a studio. Ask your fellow studio mates, what you think about their, the work that they're doing, or if they see something wrong, or if they need a hand with something, or whatever. So we try to inspire that. This is, anytime you want to stop, and I am just not good at this, I wish you could. We have an advisory board that meets a couple times a year. They come out to the school, they go over the curriculum, they go over what it is we're doing at the school, and they make suggestions. This way we know, we kind of have our finger on the pulse of what's going on in the creative community. Marvel, DC, advertising agencies, Archie Comics. In the picture here, Joe Kubert is on it. Richard Bruning, who's at DC Comics. Stan Mataloni, who was actually a graduate of the school. He owns his own advertising agency and employs a lot of Kubert School students. That's a cool office too. That's my dad's office. We also, as part of the school program, we take a lot of field trips. I took my students a couple years ago to the Bodies exhibition in New York. Another field trip that we used to go on, and unfortunately it's not going to pan out anymore. We used to go to the Frazetta Museum out in Stroudsburg, PA. That's Ellie Frazetta, Mike Chen in the giant blue coat. He's another teacher at the school.